Welcome to Ford High School Weekly. I'm your host, Deion. Braylin Presley is one of the most dynamic players in Oklahoma high school football. He's also the all-purpose star for the Bixby Spartans. We'll talk to him a little later. We'll also take a look back at the 3A showdown between Verdigris-Holland Hall. And we'll see what takeaways we can take away from that game. Now, let's talk to Braylin Presley. Well, guys, today is the day. I'm telling you right now, we have the guy who's the most electrifying athlete on the turf here in Oklahoma, my man, Braylin Presley. Braylin, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Tell me, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a difficult year with the whole coronavirus thing going on, but we've pushed through it, and we're here in week 9, so I'm doing pretty good.
So let's talk to me about it. Let's jump right in it. You are with a team that's, had to miss a couple games. You've had, some altering situations with the season. How's everything played out, and what's been the most frustrating part?
Everything's played out pretty good so far. We've had a couple of late cancellations, which is not very fun to just sit out and watch other teams play on Friday, but it's just kind of frustrating. You think you're going to play someone, like Muskogee, for instance, thought we were going to play, had a whole Thursday practice, and then found out that they had canceled. So, that's definitely the most frustrating part. But other than that, the season's going smooth. Here in week 9, we haven't had any coronavirus issues with our football team, and I hope we can keep it that way and get to the state championship.
So take me back to those moments where you guys, it's not the first time that it's happened. Muskogee, also Stillwater. What was the temperature in the room, so to speak, with your teammates and the coaches, and how did y'all find out?
Well, the coaches obviously knew before the players, but like when the players found out, it was obviously frustrating because we can't go out there and perform, but we just find new ways to take that off Friday we had, or the one off Friday we had against Muskogee, and implement it to where we can just get ready for the next team, become better, whether it's watching film or just going out in the field and doing a little walkthrough. We try to find a way to just make the most of what we can.
So take me to that Friday. What exactly did you do? How did you spend that free time, that Friday, that unusual Friday off?
Well, this Friday, tomorrow's our homecoming, actually. So, obviously, social distance and everything. Me and I think it was about 3 other friends. We helped make little posters for homecoming and everything. So, it was it's a pretty calm day, just laid back, just enjoyed it.
So that's what you did on that Friday when you found out that the Muskogee game was canceled? Like that Friday, you just hung out and, made posters for homecoming?
Yes, sir. I had plans to play, but obviously that didn't go through. But yeah, I tried to just stay away from, hanging in big crowds, just doing things that could affect me and affect the team. Just somebody testing positive and I have to quarantine, or multiple people have to quarantine. So I tried to keep a low profile Friday, just hang with a couple of friends, and also help out with homecoming.
All right. Well, let's take it back a little bit. So let's talk about, Braylin Presley, the man behind the helmet. How did you get started playing football?
It all started when I was in, I think, kindergarten. They had signed Brennan up for football, and once I saw him play, I wanted to play. So my dad signed me up in kindergarten. And, it wasn't all fun and games at first, but I think after about 2 years or a year, I really got the hang of it. And I just started enjoying it more. Winning games. So, that's the most fun part about football for me.
So you're telling me that you weren't, a great football player right off the bat? You didn't have it. It took a couple of years for you to kind of find your form?
Yes, sir. It definitely took time. Just working out with my dad. I played football with my brothers, Brandon, and Braden, and that definitely was a big part of it. But I don't think anyone ever starts out just being good. It takes time, it takes work. So it took a minute for me to get the hang of the physicality and the speed of the game. But once I got that, it was pretty much all uphill from there.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was good as soon as I laced up the cleats. I have no idea. I'm kidding, man. But speaking of that, I mean, you started playing football pretty young, so I'm guessing you've had a lot of, especially with your dad and your brothers, you've had a lot of people to look up to. But as far as athletically on the big scale of people that names that other people would recognize, who do you kind of look up to that played this sport as well? Who do you kind of model your game after?
I mean, one person I can say I look up to, whether it's whether you're talking about just position or like playing a game, if you're just talking about overall player, one person I definitely look up to is probably Ray Lewis. He always had the mentality that he's gonna go out and he's gonna tell you what he's gonna do to you, and he's gonna actually do it. And then he also was just a humble person, so he's someone I don't model my game after, but just as an overall person on and off the field, he's one of the people I kind of look up to. Just whether it's separating his personal life from his football life or just whatever, I definitely model him a lot.
So a running back having a linebacker's mentality or someone to look up to, that doesn't, that doesn't put a lot of, smile on defenders' faces.
No, and I think not a lot of people would expect it. Most people look up to nowadays Barry Sanders and Saquon, and I do look up to those guys. They're great football players, but I just think the way Ray Lewis attacked the game and how he attacked life in general as a person, it's just definitely something I just want to definitely keep in mind. We all we live different and we have different personalities, I guess you could say, but he's definitely someone I could definitely just look up to.
Braylon Presley doesn't have a lot of offers just yet, but once recruiting season starts to kick in, I'm sure a lot of people will be knocking at his door. Tonight, on the Ford Game of the Week, it's our last regular season game of the year. Jinx is visiting Westmore. This 6A1 District 1 matchup will have an effect on playoff seeding. Join Steve Marshall and me as Westmore hosts Jinx on YurView Channel 3 at 7 o'clock. Ford High School Weekly will be right back. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We're talking to Bixby's own Braylin Presley. So now that you're one of those players in Oklahoma and in the country that people are looking up to and they see your game and they say, hey man, that's a guy to watch out for. What do you think individually sets you apart from other athletes that you see on the football field day in and day out?
Well, there's a lot of good players in Oklahoma, but I think one thing you could say that sets me apart from just different athletes in general on the field. A lot of people sometimes miss a hole or something, but I think just my instinct and my vision can set me apart from different backs and different athletes. And I'm not saying my vision is superior from everyone else, but I just think it's you could say on another level to where I can just instinctively act or instinctively to see some things that other running backs and other receivers or other athletes can't see. So I mean, I definitely think that's one of the major things that can set me apart.
Yeah, man, I think you're on the money with that one right there because sometimes I watch your highlights and you anticipate the holes before they even happen. I think your instincts kind of kick in. I'm like, why is he going that way? And then all of a sudden you see like a little crease and then you slide through that thing. And I'm like, dang, man, that dude's got it. So, I mean, you're right about that, man. You anticipate holes and you see it and your vision's there. I think you're on the money with that one. So my next question for you, and I know this is something you're probably not going to want to answer, but I mean, just do me a favor. Be honest with me, man. Be honest with me. I think, in my opinion, if they ask me, during the games, they ask me on the show when I'm talking to people on the radio, they're like, "Who's the best, athlete in Oklahoma right now, hands down, I'm not even shy about it. I always say it's Braylin Presley. And the fact of the matter is, there's a number of guys and a number of running backs that have been, talked about this year. There's A.J. Green from Union. There's Quantrell Walker from Stillwater that you've seen from time to time. But in your opinion, who's the best running back in the state of Oklahoma this year?
Well, AJ and Quantrell are having standout years. Quantrell obviously breaking 1,000 yards rushing within 5 games. Like, that's unheard of. That's unbelievable. I mean, honestly, like, personally, like, I'm gonna say myself just because it's me. But I just think if you're talking about better running back, I mean, there's a lot of different running backs, but I'd consider myself probably the best player in Oklahoma. Not even just a running back, just the different things you can see me do on Friday, like catching punch or catching the ball from the slot or running the ball. So I mean, if you want to know who the best running back is, I mean that's a tough choice. That's something I obviously can't really choose on. It'd be out of me, AJ, and Quantrell, obviously, but if you want to know who the best player is, obviously I'm going to stick myself on that one, just from the multiple things I can do on the field.
Man, I really thought you were going to hit us with that line. If you want to know who the best player in Oklahoma, you're looking at him. You're looking at him right now, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, I mean, best player like I said, and this is my words and my opinion, you're best player in Oklahoma right now. How is people looking at you as far as recruiting wise in college? How are things going on the recruiting landscape?
They're going pretty good right now, actually. I've heard from a lot of schools. Texas Tech, I've been in contact with them a little bit. Oregon State's another one of them, and even Georgia has reached out to me a little bit. So, I mean, it's going good. I mean, it takes time. I know the process. So, I'm not really rushing it. Hopefully, during season or after season, I get more offers and I can just choose, which school is best for me. So, I mean, it takes time, but I'm definitely just kind of playing it by ear.
So do you have a time scale of when you think or when you would prefer to kind of make your decision and commitment so you could kind of get that recruiting process out of the way? Or are you kind of relishing it all and, loving the attention and looking forward to, getting your chance to talk to more coaches and everything like that?
Well, I'm not really in a rush. I don't really have a timetable for my commitment. I'm just kind of just waiting it out, just seeing, when the dead period's over January 1st, hopefully I get to go to some campuses and get a feel for, what it's like, get a feel for the coaches, and hopefully make my decision sometime next year before season, during season, or after.
So are you, as far as recruiting wise and playing at the next level, are you looking towards a specific area, specific conference? Are you leaning towards any which way, or is there any schools that you're really interested right now? Because, I mean, we got some connections over here at Ford High School Weekly. I mean, if there's any schools that aren't knocking on that door right now that you need to knock on that door, or that you want to knock on that door, go ahead and say the name. I mean,
No, sir. There's not a specific school that or a specific area that I'm looking to go to. It's honestly just about which school fits best for me, or which conference could use me well, or which coach wants me most. I mean, it's just a lot of possibilities I could play in it.
I feel you. I feel you, man. So let's talk about a little bit about this season a little bit. I mean, you've gone into a situation where Bixby, again, best team in the state, ranked 23rd in the nation right now, and it's all over the country. I mean, 23rd in the nation, pretty impressive. How do you think your season has progressed, and how do you think your team is doing up until this point?
Um, we from the Union game, we've definitely had a lot to improve, and I think we have. The team's doing really well right now. We've improved in a lot of aspects and a lot of positions, so I think we're doing good right now. Right now, we're just preparing game by game to hopefully get to the state championship again.
So I know we'll probably talk to you before that big playoff push and run, and I know we'll be out there during these playoff games. But what are some of the things that I could look at that you really want to improve on during this whole late end of the season?
Personally, one thing I really want to improve on is probably pass blocking. I'm a shorter back, so people think they can just get to linebackers and just kind of bull rush me. But I've done a solid job, I think, this year, but it definitely needs some improvement.
Hey man, I've seen you lifting some weights. Bixby puts up some good highlights over there on Twitter and Instagram, and I've seen you putting up the weights and getting stronger. So I know that's gonna come along and get better. So as far as not individually, but as a team, what do you think are some of the things that you guys need to improve on to make that run for the Gold Bowl once again?
Mostly little things like obviously I said my pass blocking. Probably just I don't even know, like one thing we can improve on, like returns. We can get more like I don't even know. That's a tough question to answer. So I don't even know how to answer that one.
I feel you. I feel you, man. My final question. I mean, I know Bixby's got a tradition of dyeing the hair blonde for the playoffs and everything, man. I saw that you did it as well. Is that something that we can look forward to this year?
Hopefully, actually, definitely. I think that is something we can look forward to. The blonde hair and playing on December 6th at UCL. I think that's definitely something we can look forward to.
Guys, I think Braylon Presley is the best football player in the state of Oklahoma. High school football fans, make sure you keep a close eye on him as he moves up the recruiting charts. Tonight, Ford Game of the Week features the Westmore Jaguars hosting the Jinx Trojans. Playoff seedings hang in the balance this week. Join Steve Marshall and me at 7 o'clock as Westmore takes on Jinx, right here on YurView Channel 3. There's more Ford High School Weekly coming up next. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. Last Friday, Mike Ziegenhorn and Rod Thompson were on the call for the Battle of Undefeated, as the Verdigris Cardinals and the Holland Hall Dutch met at Hardesty Field in Tulsa.
Mike Ziegenhorn, Rod Thompson with you on this Friday night, week number 9. Man, the season has breezed right by. Halloween tomorrow, week 10 is next week, Rod, and things set up like they do. Both teams play next week and win, then Holland Hall will be your district champs, especially after tonight.
Yeah, and they definitely have played like it and definitely played like the number 1 team in the state with a very good chance to win a gold ball. Outstanding balance that you see on this team. Both sides of the ball, they played extremely well. Outstanding athletes. They get their players in space and make plays. So many weapons on this team, again, on both sides of the football. Oftentimes, we've seen it, Zig, a sign of a team that has a chance to win one. And boy, in this game, I know the Verdigris quarterback was out, but even with him being out, this defensive Verdigris came in very good. I think you said allowing around 12 points a game, and they were no match for Holland Hall in what they were able to do tonight. This is a team that's playing extremely well. A lot of guys playing at a high level, and Coach Gross has his team playing. If we look at these stats right here, look at the rushing yards, 148 to 71, passing 207 to 56. I'm going to clean up those penalties a little bit. But one of the biggest keys to the game was the turnovers. Verdigris with 3 interceptions by our player of the game, Mr. Rouse. Dutch with no turnovers. Thus, you have a score, an impressive victory, Zig. 52 to 7. Holland Hall gets it done and takes control of the district race.
Get your notepads. My takeaways from the Verdigris-Holland Hall game are coming up next on Ford High School Weekly. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. Tonight, the Ford Game of the Week, it's a 6A1 District 1 battle. The Jinx Trojans are visiting Moore School Stadium to play the Westmore Jaguars as playoff positioning is sorting out. Join Steve Marshall and me at 7 o'clock for Jinx and Westmore right here on YurView Channel 3. Demonstrating that good defense and explosive offense are a winning combination, the Holland Hall Dutch dominated the Verdigris Cardinals in a battle of undefeated teams Friday night. Takeaway number 1, defensive turnovers win games. For example, Holland Hall's Ethan Roush had 3 interceptions. Yeah, that's right, 3 of them. His first one set up the Dutch for a touchdown on the Verdigris 5-yard line.
Jones drops back, throws, intercepted. Here come the Dutch. Ethan Roush.
Oh, Roush.
Down to the 5. Clark again. Touchdown, Holland Hall.
His second interception led to another score.
Gonna roll to his left, throw downfield, and picked off again. 3rd time tonight. This one taken by Ethan Roush. Handed off to Robinson, easy. No one untouched into the end zone. Jones again.
Oh, man.
Intercepted again, Roush.
After Ethan's 3rd interception, Wallace Clark hooked up with Brendan Terry to put up the Dutch 52-0.
Is it caught? It is. Brendan Terry, touchdown, Dutch.
Takeaway number 2. You gotta love it when a plan comes together. First Dutch possession of the game. They're at the Verdigris 1-yard line. Wallace Clark gives the ball to Cameron Robinson. He plows into the line. The line doesn't move. The resourceful Mr. Robinson turns around and pitches it back to Clark, who takes it to the left and into the end zone.
Let him try to punch it in, but
We're gonna
nice
pitch
play.
it back to Clark.
How about that
Touchdown,
play?
Dutch.
How about Mr. Robinson with the no look right there?
That play might not have looked like what they drew up, and it might not have been what was sent in from the sideline or called in the huddle, but a touchdown is a touchdown, and you gotta love it when a plan comes together. Check YurView.com/OK every day for highlights like these and replays of the Ford Game of the Week. And next week, go there to find out what our first playoff game will be. Brackets should be settled on Saturday, and we should know by Monday what our games will be next week. And remember, only the best in Oklahoma make it the Ford High School Weekly. So until next time, thank you for watching, and I'm your host, Deion Amade.